The system failed because there were many power generators that lost the ability to function or turn on due to the weather, icy conditions and cold conditions that from a level of instrumentation at power plants, ice buildup on equipment, including wind turbines, but also natural gas plants. And one nuclear reactor has gone offline as well.
So we know when we talk about climate change, we think of extreme weather events. This would probably certainly count as one of them. We know that Texans haven't seen anything like this in 3 decades, but when the governor, Greg Abbott, who is going to be calling an investigation into reforming ERCOT, which is the state-run energy company, what needs to be done to prepare for something like this? Because we know that the system is good in the summer when everybody's running their air condition constantly, but it wasn't set up for the winter. What needs to change?
Well, we should clarify one thing. ERCOT is not a state-run energy company. It is a nonprofit organization that has members across the stakeholder base for the electric grid. So that includes power generators, the companies that own poles and wires, and it has representatives of customers and municipal utilities. So most of the power plants in Texas are privately owned. So they're not owned by a government entity. They're privately owned, and they compete to sell electricity in Texas. So that's a policy of a restructured electricity market in Texas. And there are questions that Governor Abbott and the rest of us want to know is that policy, is that set up well, that type of market, is that set up well to prevent these types of extreme circumstances? Can we make the grid more resilient to these extreme circumstances? And do we have to do that outside of a market? And maybe we have to mandate or regulate certain types of equipment on power plants that is not currently on them.
Appreciate you clarifying that point, Carey. I want to ask one last question. There seems to be a discrepancy, or rather more of a disparity, between some of the neighborhoods that were left without power. A lot of people pointing to poorer communities who lost power and wealthier communities where the lights stayed on. Did you notice a particular trend there?
I don't have any information on that. I'd like to know the answers to that as well, but I don't have any information on that.
All right, Carey King, we appreciate you being with us. And of course,